I'm gonna adjust my camera a little bit because I feel like my head's cut off.
Ditto. I'll do the same.
There we go. That seems good.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, Margot.
Thank you for inviting me. So happy to continue our chat.
Yes. Yes, we've been having good conversations, and then we thought, hey, why don't we have this conversation where other people can join in?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes. So, today we're going to be talking about talking on camera, and I know that within my community, this is a hard thing because the people I work with are largely artists. They're creatives. They make beautiful pictures, and they want to put that into the world, not their faces.
Rather be in the back.
I get it. Yeah, exactly. Here's the painting. So yeah, I'm really excited to have you talk about this with these people. So first, I'm going to do some introductions. I'm going to say who I am in case you don't know who I am, and then we're going to talk about Margot, and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So if you don't already know me, my name's Alisa. I work with artists and creatives to help systematize their businesses so they can be more organized and then ultimately be more profitable. That's the goal. That's why we're here. Yeah, that's what I do. Margot, tell us a little bit about you.
Happily. So I'm Margot. I'm a personal brand photographer and videographer here in Toronto. And I would say ever since I made the transition, I spent 30 years as a television producer, literally up to last year I was working part-time, but I've been doing photography now. I took the leap in September. And I would say one of the things that I find that I'm really good at, and I'm bringing it over from my TV, is helping people feel comfortable in front of camera. I used to do that when we had a crew of 10 and it was my job to interview you and distract you. Don't look at them, just look at me. It's just us chatting.
Yeah.
And I find like that was the whole shtick. It was like, don't worry, these guys. And I find I use the same sort of techniques or same skills in my photography because I find so many people, my clients are mostly women, they're brilliant, they're doing this, they're doing that, but when it comes to the lens, they're nervous. They don't want to show, they would rather not. And so, you know, it's my job to kind of relax. I call myself like a camera whisperer to kind of soothe you into do it. And before you know it, you're loving it. And so I definitely understand the fear of showing your face, rather preferring to just let your work speak for yourself instead of you. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you. And I'm gonna validate that by saying I've had the pleasure of watching Margot work. I wasn't in front of the camera. I was one of my clients, but I was in the room with them, and I can say that yes, I watched Margot do this. You were so calm and relaxing and inviting. And I listened to the way you spoke to your subjects, and I was like, yeah, I see it. I get it. This is a scary thing.
It's absolutely can be daunting. Even just one little camera lens, just me, it's like you're vulnerable. You feel exposed, and suddenly you start thinking about 100 different things. What am I doing? What am I body? I don't like this. Is it seeing that? La la la. And it just brings up a lot of stuff. But yeah, the goal is to get you to relax, to let your real personality come through. And then I find so many times, Alisa, that people, you know, going in, we talk about, are there areas you don't really feel comfortable? And, you know, we all have our list. For me, trying to minimize 15 chins, you know, like my neck. I wish I had more space between my head and my shoulders.
So do I.
I wish I had that long neck. So we've got all our issues. But then, and I know I've had my photos done by someone else, and then even despite my issues, you know, I can still see a photo and go, oh, I look good. And I have that same thing with clients who come in and they're worried about, oh, I don't like my arms. I feel too big up here. I don't like my backside, la, la, la. But they can still have photos that they love. They don't have to show everything, but they can still walk away with, oh, I like the way I look. I like I'm laughing there. I just like my vibe. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying all of us have to be perfectly in love with ourselves, but you still can show up and in a way where you feel good.
Yes. I love that. That's important. And like, this is actually the first thing that I wanted to ask you about, which is like, in your experience, why do we hesitate? Why do we hesitate for the pictures, for the videos? And so here we've got like, we've got all of these body issues that we have for ourselves and our appearances. And like, yes, I also wish that there was more space here. That'd be
Just
great.
another 2 feet.
Show these earrings off a little better. Um, but what are there other reasons besides the like, I don't like how I look, or I don't like my arms, or my chins? What?
I
Why
have
else
some
do we
thoughts.
hesitate?
I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychotherapist. None of those things. But I would argue that a lot of it, it's the same things we hear about. Like some of it is imposter syndrome. I've had it. I feel like, who are you, Margot, to show up? What do you think? You're a big time influencer now? Who do you think you are talking to camera? And we'll get to that. That's another piece that I'm sharing with my clients. So that's kind of one piece that I see and people would acknowledge. Number two, it is that fear of what are others going to say, So maybe it's tied into imposter syndrome, and it's sort of like,
Mm,
oh, I can hear my aunt saying something. I can hear my colleague. She just started. Look at her. Who does she?
mm,
We get it in our head that people have things to say. So you know what? I'll just do an about me picture and it's hidden on the back, or I'll just hide my face. I shouldn't put it on the homepage. And it's just this idea of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what others are going to think. They're going to think she's above her station. She's getting a little, who does she think she is? So those are a few things I talk about sometimes. And I heard this term tall poppy,
mm,
tall poppy syndrome. And immediately I kind of got it. And if you've never heard of it, it's that term where, the fear of, or the being cut down. It used to apply to poppies growing. They'd cut them down to all be the same size. And then it was kind of adopted in the corporate world where, if you stand out too much at work, if you're too tall a poppy, you're going to get cut down. You're going to get criticized by bosses and whatnot. But I always argue, I think sometimes we do our own cutting down. I might be starting to shine and then
yeah,
bring it down. You
yeah.
don't excel above everyone. You're new. You're not a 10-year veteran photographer. So bring it down. So those are some of the things. Again, I am not a
Mm,
psychologist, but I definitely see some patterns that hold me
mhm.
back and my clients, but we can get past them. And it's like anything. Like even this live, I think I was telling you, I'm comfortable talking on camera. That does not worry me at all. But then I find I struggle with, am I showing up too much?
Mhm.
Is it a bit too much, Margot? You're talking too much.
Yeah.
So I might have 3 talking videos and I'm like, bring it back. So in that regard, I think those are some of the things that are behind not showing up, plus the body issues, which we all have.
Yes, yes. Even men, I'm going to say that most of my audience is female,
Right.
but I do have a few male clients, and we have the same
Yeah.
discussions. They're like, I look weird. I don't, my hair, my chins.
My
We all like,
nose, I don't like my chin,
over
honestly.
a
Right.
certain age, I feel like I need to readjust my thinking to be like, I've earned my chins,
Honestly,
right?
like I
Earned
think
them.
about COVID too, because I was doing a lot of posts around COVID and it was sort of that idea, when I get the COVID weight down, that listen, if I waited for my COVID weight to all go, you're not seeing me till 2028 at the earliest. And it's
Yeah.
true. And I mean, you're trying, and it's just the reality. I was saying back then, don't hide until all the COVID weight's gone. Honestly, maybe you're one of those people that can lose it all after lockdown in 1 month, but most of us, it's going
Mm-mm.
to take time, and you can't wait
Yeah.
that long. People want to see you. Your people, they want to see your face. They genuinely do.
Yeah.
So don't wait.
Yes. Do not wait. Love that
No.
advice. Okay, so some of the things that hold us back are our perceived imperfections, the way we view ourselves, and how
Absolutely.
comfortable or uncomfortable we are with that. Definitely the like, what are my friends and family going to think? That like I'm stepping up above my station. My aunt's going to say this. My mother's going to be like, "Why are you doing this?" Honestly, my mother wants to know. And then the like, I don't want to stand out too
Too
much.
much.
Yeah, a little bit, but not
Yeah.
not all the way. So the tall poppy
Awesome.
syndrome, yeah, I've personally experienced all of
Yeah.
those, and I'm imagining that if you're watching this live, that you have
Can
too. That's
relate.
why you're here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we can all take that breath and try anyway to know that we're together in it.
Showing up scared, right? It's the idea
Showing
of,
up scared.
it's still, no one's saying you're waiting till you feel amazing. And no, we all have to push ourselves a little bit,
A little bit.
even,
A little bit.
even with that pit in your stomach. And you never
Hmm.
regret it. You feel good. And
Yeah.
I always say, like, I'll admit it. And then people encourage me. It's like, oh, I can never do it. But people are, maybe that's the fear. People think people are going to judge when more often when they see you doing something out of your comfort zone and you admit it. They're more like, good for you. I wish I could do that. You're doing great. So,
Mm-hmm.
doing it scared. Doing it
Yeah.
scared.
And like an example of that is even though I've done a bunch of these lives and I'm fairly comfortable with them,
Right.
every single time before I hit the button, I go, oh
Ditto.
God, what am I doing?
Ditto. Waiting for the garbage truck to roll by,
Yeah.
people to be
Yes.
pounding on their dogs, to be barking, snow blowers. I have the same thing. It's not the talking live, it's the build up to it that gives me a little. But I said this year, and I think I told you that I'm going to do it. That's
Yes.
my thing. I'm doing more lives.
I love
I'm doing more
it.
lives, even if I'm scared. I'm doing more lives. So all
Okay.
of us
So
can push.
this leads me to the next question, which is like, do we even need to show up on video? Like, why do we need to show up on video?
Well, first of all, look, photos, start with photos. I think showing your face is absolutely important. Videos is that next level to stand out. And I know in our economy, in so many areas, we're competing, budgets are shrinking. To have that edge over the next person beside you, first of all, showing your face is going to give you an edge. Do I go with, oh, this artist is showing her face in her story? I feel more connected to her. And then I think, we all know video is powerful. We see it on Instagram and all the reels. And so I always tell my clients there's a few different ways. Like I shoot video clips for my clients. That's one way when we're doing a session so that they can do those. I shoot brand story videos for clients where I tell their story, I interview them. But the thing that I've been sharing a lot lately is tips on how to do just this. Some people are brilliant. They built a business. Maybe it's super successful, but they've never just talked to camera. And I think all of us should try it. And it's not that hard. And as we joked about before, if you've taken a photo or a video of your cat or your child, you already know how to do it. It's not a tech issue. It's really a little bit of a courage issue. But I'm pushing everybody around me to, like, maybe this year, open up your phone, learn to, say hi, introduce yourself, and push yourself that way to start adding little bits of video. And I do have a little freebie that I share with my clients that, hey, here's some tips to help you get over the fear. And that's my mission this year. I'm sharing a
Mm-hmm.
lot more tips about how to open up your phone, where to look,
Mm-hmm.
what to say, and you already have it. It's free to be talking. Look at us. We're doing this live for social media. I don't think you're getting a bill from
Mm-mm.
Instagram for doing it. So, listen, why not utilize that free marketing tool to talk and go live and eventually feel more comfortable just to tell your people, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and so much more. And it builds that connection. So video, 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 video. I talk about video, video, video.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. Like, I like to see photos of people, but the video is compelling. I will stick around to like watch your video to hear what you have to say, and yeah, you're right. It's compelling. It's
Absolutely.
one aspect of the things that we have to do.
Sure.
And I assume the freebie that you mentioned, where we give some people some tips, we can find that in your link in bio, right?
Absolutely. There's a free link and just some tips to help you. It sums up some of the things we said. It's not as hard as you think. And
Mm-hmm.
I always challenge folks, give it a try. Plot your first video that's going to introduce yourself. Just say hi. I'm scared. I normally don't do this, but I'm pushing myself. Thank you, everybody, for following me. I'm going to try and do this more. The end. And watch how people start congratulating. Good for you. Good for you for, honestly, I think everybody should do it.
Okay, so you've given us a couple of tips there. Any other tips in terms of how we can show up when we're scared? Like anything else that you want to share on that topic?
Well, I mean, it's kind of related with video and photos, because with my clients, we'll do professional photos. But again, and I'm not a social media manager, but I share, if you follow me, like, and I know you do too, I share behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I do talking to videos, but sometimes I'll just share what behind the scenes of a shoot or behind the scenes of me in my kitchen, talking about the fact that I'm quitting sugar. MIT, not all together, but MIT. So it's like, make this year the year to kind of just share little bits. And if you're not ready to show your face yet, show B-roll clips, show you doing something else, and then build up to starting to show your face. I think more than ever, unless you've got a million followers and clients that you can't control and you don't need any more business, but if you're looking to grow and get more people, I think it can only
Hmm.
help to start. It's like building your personal brand, right? You're
Yeah.
building who you are, not just the thing you do. It's sharing who you are. It can only help.
Yeah. I really like that suggestion of like you don't have to start off with like this
Sure.
me
Yeah,
talking to the camera because this can be intimidating and you don't know what to say and
absolutely.
like if you're reading from a script sometimes
Sure.
that's obvious but like
Yeah.
practice that you get better at it. But I like the suggestion of like you're filming in your kitchen talking about how you're trying to quit sugar, which is legit hard. I'm doing
Getting
dry
there, 8:30.
January, so not this month. Maybe in like wet February.
Right. But
Roll
share
sugar
your
cracker.
workspace. You have a lot of artist clients.
Yeah.
Start off by, and you could be talking in it, but hey guys, if you've never seen this is my workspace. And start slow.
Hmm.
Start with talking videos that don't show your face, and then little by little, one day, show, or just set the camera up, show you doing your art. I'm fascinated to watch people doing their things they do. So if you're not ready to start with your face, absolutely just show them how you do what you do.
Yeah. I think a lot of artists, we like to do time lapse videos,
Yeah,
which are quite
sure.
impersonal, right? But it works. And like you say, we're all fascinated, like, show me you putting the paint on
Right.
the thing. Um, and then like I feel like you can like zoom out from there, right? Like if you're time lapsed, you can zoom out where you're like showing your hands doing it real
Yeah.
time. You can step further back and show you at your desk. You don't have to look at the
Take me
camera
to the
yet.
art store.
Yeah. Oh.
Take me to the art. Show
Ooh.
me how you get excited about your material. There's everything is content. That's what they say. Everything is content. And I'm fascinated. Like, is that your happy place? Is that your wonderland when you go to an art supply store? Show us.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yes. It's like a
it
magical
is.
toy
It's like,
shop.
ah,
Um, Thank you, Margot. I think
my
I'm going to ask you one
yeah.
final question, which we kind of touched upon a little bit. Um, but to sort of wrap us up, what do we have to gain by doing
Oh,
this, by putting ourselves on
such a
video?
good question. I was just talking about this the other day, and what you're doing. One, you're opening yourself up to a larger audience, potentially your ideal clients. You're sharing more about who you are, which builds that trust. I've always had people say, "I feel like I know you," before they knew me, and they were maybe
Mm.
even just creeping on me for 6 months, a year, watching my videos, silly videos, fun videos before, and then they're like, "I felt like I knew you." So there's that trust factor.
Hmm.
And then, like, opportunities. I was invited to speak on a panel for Durham a couple of years. I don't even live in Durham, but I talk a lot. And the organizer just fell upon my videos, got to know me, and thought, oh, can you share a little bit at this thing? And so, like, just opportunities. Not that you couldn't get opportunities without it, that you couldn't, but I find when you're putting yourself out there, now you're opening yourself to a larger audience who's watching you. You don't even know who they are, and opportunities. Oh, we're having an art fair. I've been watching this particular artist who has really great personality. I know she can talk, or I just like the way she's real. And so I think future opportunities, connection, deeper connections with your clients, and exposing yourself to other people. For sure. All for showing up.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I want to underline the one where like you don't know who's watching.
Don't know, and they don't listen. Don't worry about likes. Even like with this, don't worry about the
Nope.
numbers. Don't worry. People are watching, and so they're creeping silently, and then one day reaching out to you. So that's why I think it's worth it,
Yeah.
right?
And the idea of like, oh, I already feel like I know you. It's
100%
much
deeper
easier.
connection.
Hmm.
Absolutely. People purchase by, I mean, I guess what they say, know, like, trust.
Hmm.
They can't really know you, trust you if they don't see your face.
Yeah.
But then video just takes it that deeper, right? I hear how you talk. I see your style. I see how you show up. It's like, oh, I like her. she's brave, she's courageous, or just like her style. You know what I mean? So again, I think it's a win-win.
I agree. Thank you so much, Margot.
My
Uh,
pleasure.
if you are watching this live or if you're watching the replay, I am going to both challenge and invite you to make some videos. Whether you go live or you want to like record it and post it in 2 days, that's fine. Make the video, but tag myself and Margot in it.
Yeah, let us know. We will cheer you
I
on.
was
We
exactly
will
as I
cheer
was going to say.
you
We are going to be
on.
your
You can
biggest
do it.
cheerleaders. So if you're feeling nervous about it, tag us. We will cheer you on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a pleasure chatting with you today. This was
Yeah,
a great
thank you so
conversation.
much. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad we had this
Me
conversation.
too.
And the replay is going to be up on my channel and Margot's.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful afternoon, Lisa.
You
Thanks so
too.
much.
Take care. Oh, Leela
Bye,
says she's going to
everybody.
try this. Yes, Leela, I'm looking
Yay!
forward to the video.
Let us know anything. We'll cheer you on.
We will. Okay, take care, everybody. Thanks for
Take
joining us. Thanks you,
care.
Margot.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.